Hey guys, it's Carrie the Paper Monkey. Thank y'all so much for dropping in on this video. Y'all, I'm so excited to show y'all this journal. I loved all the Barbie journals. I really did. But this one, I don't want to divulge who my customer is, but I'm going to tell you this. She is a creator. And not only is she a creator, she is a phenomenal creator. And I was like, to my customer, this directly to you, you will never know how much this order meant to me because I know what you create and how you create. And so it was so significant and such a confidence builder for me. And I just hope and pray that you love this as much as I had so much fun creating it. I really do hope that you have as much fun working in it and playing in this journal. So let's get right to it, guys. This was actually, I'll tell you, I didn't make this, but it was a purchase that I had done many, many moons back, and it just went perfectly. I thought it went perfectly with the spine. So 1960s vintage Barbie's junk journal. And my customer's into fashion. So a lot of these items that I'm going to show you are specific to what she wanted. So vintage bobby pin holder. Yeah, I've been hanging on to this piece now. I don't show y'all everything I thrift. No. I got a bunch of sewing ephemera that I don't show you, but you can see it's a 2 signature spine, by the way, 2 signature spine. And you can see that I use the large rickracks on the side, keeping in the same color tones with the rest of the book. And I just thought it was interesting. So hopefully my customer will too. So we've got that. And then here's our first pocket. And I actually used the title page as a little journaling spot. Vintage check register. Came across those thrifting recently, and I just loved them. These little paper clips, these are the little plastic paper clips. I've had them for a long time, guys, and I really can't remember where I got them from. Probably Walmart or something like that. Another pocket here. This is I just cut part of a lead page off. You'll see the lead page here. And a couple of little tags, little vintage. I mean, look at that, a wire link dress form. Yeah, that's a vintage ad. And this was from a sewing pattern. So those 2 little tags there. This is from a sewing book that I had gotten a long time ago. Here's some vintage buttons. Look at those. Aren't they beautiful? And then this, I don't know if I did that on a short or not. I can't remember. Use this little felt trim. A lot of Happy Mail went into these journals. And I'm going to tag the Happy Mail senders in this video. So you guys go check out their channels. Some stickers from an Cartabella paper pack. You'll see a bunch of like little embellishments from that pack. And I tried to use some of the book pages. I incorporated some of the book pages into some of these journaling spots. Here's another part of that Cartabella paper pack. These I got at Dollar Tree recently. And they were just the note cards. And I just like to cut the back of the note card off sometimes and just use the front page as a journaling card itself. Vintage sewing pattern girls. Love them. This is from the Granny Chic book. Great images in that Granny Chic book. I touted a lot on here. If you're not familiar, go look it up. It's not in print anymore. You kind of have to find it on eBay or one of Angela and Carol's sales. But yeah, this is fabric from Happy Mail. And here's a little vintage sewing pattern. This is vintage ledger paper, and it's actually backed an ad from it's an old Sears catalog ad that I backed onto that ledger paper. This is from a vintage I want to say it's a Sears catalog. I can't remember, but it is a vintage clothing catalog. Sears or Montgomery Ward's, I can't remember. And I backed it onto that. I just love the boots. Cartabella paper pack, those hangers. I thought that was appropriate. Left some blank spaces in here because, again, she is a creator, and I figured she'd want to play in it. Made that just as a hang. Got this in Happy Mail. Look, here's a signature. And I used some just what appear to be glass buttons. They're plastic, but I just thought that they were pretty. Little CD pack. Orange was the color chosen, of course, because, and she can slip something in here. That was one of the colors that kind of went with the whole fabric on the spine and that. Orange and pink. Some fabric tags that I just backed onto cardstock. And this fabric came in Happy Mail, and this came in Happy Mail. Here's the other side of that ad, and here's that ledger paper. This is notebook paper that I bought it at Walmart. It's a neon color pack. I do have some of this in my link tree, though, from Amazon, because there's some other colors that Amazon offers, and I really like those, too. Some of the muted colors and some of the other neon colors. So if you're interested, go click my link tree. But listen, those Amazon affiliate links are, and yes, they do help me and give me, a little commission. But if you find it cheaper, tell me where you find it, because I want to go get it cheaper. And please go get it cheaper. Here is from that Cartabella paper pack is one of those stickers. I love that. And then this is wallpaper. This is wallpaper that I backed onto Amazon packaging just because I thought it was interesting. Here's a double belly band. Got these in Happy Mail. And then I made a little, just a little journaling card. Walk and Wear dryer. Remember those? That ad is from that catalog. And then here, check this one out. This book is a reproduction of old ads. I don't know if I've ever shown it. I might have to do that as a bolo book. This is from the Cartabella paper pad. Used a lot of that paper pad, and then I just embellished the page with that. If I have strips and just different cutoffs from paper, sometimes I'll just sit at Samuel L. Jackson and make these little interesting little just page embellishments, really. I wanted to start the second signature kind of in the same way I did with the first. This is from packaging, and it's shoulder pads. I just found that not that long ago, too. I thought it was perfect for that because of the pink and the orange and all. I just loved it. This little card came from Happy Meal. However, this came, I found some vintage sewing ephemera and I was digging through it, and this was the surprise of the century. I don't think it has a date, but look at the prices on this. Is Avon. This is an Avon order slip. Face powder 95 cents, powder pack 95 cents. I mean, guys, toothpaste with or without chlorophyll 49 cents. I mean, that has got to be old. And I loved it because before I put this on here, this was the first thing I had, and I thought the coloring was too perfect. This is book page, too, by the way. I made several tags using the actual book pages, sewed around them, stamped, and this ledger is actual vintage ledger. So a good little writing spot. This is from a sewing catalog. And then another piece of vintage ephemera, but I left the buckles. I did not take this apart. I wanted to leave it. From a vintage decor book. This was, can take this, will come right out. But it holds it enough, like if you put it down, it'll hold it enough that it doesn't slip out of the book. This was from Hobby Lobby quite a while back now. It's part of their clearance deals. Got a vintage playing card here. And then I have this. So in each one of the books that I sold, because these were commissioned, I had 3 commissioned books for these Barbie journals. And each one of them, I included a birthday card for the recipient, and I included this is from a diary, a yearly diary. This is a vintage yearly diary. And this is from an actual, like an Edith Holden inspired, it's not Edith Holden, but it's Edith Holden inspired, I guess, or like, birthday book. That's what they called it. And so one of these dates on here is the actual person's birthday. I wanted to make that. If they wanted to use this book in journaling, then I wanted to give them that opportunity to do that. This is the lead page from a vintage McCall's sewing book. I've had that book for it's one of the first books that I bought whenever I started junk journaling. These are labels, like fashion labels. It's from an activity book though, and I just thought it was kind of cool. That's another journaling card with a little cutesy paper clip, little round paper clip. I just did an embellishment on this page with that little sticker. And then her on the back here. Thought this was interesting. It's from a vintage craft book, and I loved it. Love the dotted paper here. This is from a Cartabella paper pack. Same pack because it's got the purses on it, and then I embellished at the bottom with the stickers. And these are pink Rolodex cards that someone sent me in Happy Mail. They're so cute. This is fabric that came in Happy Mail that I backed and stitched around. And then this is not this paper pack, it's a different paper pack, but I just love this image, and this came in Happy Mail also. And then the buttons, again with the glass look buttons. They are not glass, they are plastic, but they're really pretty. I thought that they were pretty. Belly band that I embellished with a cutout from a vintage sewing pattern, and then this little strip from the sewing pattern, and then this is an actual little tuck, a little card. Yeah, from the Granny Chic book here. This was kind of interesting. I've held on to this packaging. Let me take these out. This packaging, I've held on to it for a long time. I love this color. It's one of my favorite vintage colors. It's like that Tiffany blue, if you guys remember, right? So what happens here is I have this long, narrow journaling card that you can stick behind the packaging here. And then I have this shorter little journaling card that fits right there. And then you can flip this out because this has a stop here, so it's snug in here, but you can flip this out and also jot something down there. Here's from that same sticker pack. And here is this came in Happy Mail also. So Valentino. That is from a sewing catalog. Sewing pattern catalog. Yes. Now, this was a little different. This came from the McCall's book, that vintage book that I referenced earlier. And I was able to leave this because I backed it onto a piece of cardstock, a piece of scrapbook paper, scrapbook paper, that's that Cartabella scrapbook that I've used throughout. And then I took some of the little cut-aparts and just stuck them here. So you have a little bit of a tuck right there. Now, this is, as you can see, it's a vintage flashcard. So I made a little guest check that can tuck right in here. And then I took another one of the cut aparts and I made it a little tuck. This little card is from a vintage Barbie game. Another vintage ad. And then this, just because I love this. I love that fabric. It's actually a napkin, and I used it in another journal. And I did a short on this, but it's a large vintage Rolodex. And then that is cut from a vintage sewing pattern. And that's it, guys. That is the book. This is removable. You can take this off. You know, you can see here, you just take it off. And then these little things right here, if you're curious, I do have them in my Amazon cart. You can go check them out. They're under tools, I think, is the subject that they're under. I forget what they're called, but they just screw right in. Yeah, they just screw right in. They're real easy to use. Anyway, that's it, guys. Again, thank you to my customer. Thank you guys for sitting here and watching this and cheering me on in the background. And thank you to all the folks that sent me happy mail for these journals. I really, I appreciate it so much. You made these journals even more fun to work with and to create. Remember what I do always say, guys. I do hope that whatever it is you get to do today or in the next few days, it is at least as much fun as I had creating these vintage Barbie journals. Thanks, and we'll chat soon. Bye.